we just can't do it. Gonna stay on, or is it gonna go off like it did last time?
That I can't tell you.
Take two. If it doesn't work this time, we're just gonna have to wait till we get better internet, I guess. But this is Kenny and AG here at Abundant Acres Homestead, and we are going to be planting peppers. I'm gonna try to do it live, but we got the worst internet connection ever. They were supposed to be here yesterday to try to fix it. Guess what? Nobody showed up.
Nobody showed.
So we're gonna see if we can do this. Not sure, but we're gonna try. What I'm doing today is I'm going to be planting our peppers up. And instead of just doing a regular video, I figured I would kind of do a video like I would normally put on our channel. But instead of doing cuts, edits, everything else, we're just going to go ahead and go live because honestly, I don't have time to do the editing and everything else. And we like to do lives just because we get to actually interact. Kenny's going to be doing more of the interacting because, like I said, I'm going to be doing the planting. So, what I'm going to do is get everything set up because I want to go through where I want the different peppers at, and I'm going to let Kenny entertain you until then.
She's getting everything set up. So, oh, hi, Sherry. How are you? Good to have you in here. She's getting everything set up how she wants it. Got the raised beds in. Got some volunteer beans coming up. I don't know if you can see that. The yard long beans decided they wanted to make the move to the new garden, so they popped up. I'm not sure if she's gonna.
Here's what happened with my peppers.
Oh.
Some of them, like, didn't come up at all. So, like most of them, like a bunch of them died. And I think it had to do with my soil. So I replanted. So I've got some that were replanted, and I didn't think they were going to do very good. Like this one here, California Wonder. It seemed like they were going to die. So I ended up going to a nursery and got a couple California Wonders. So, and then as soon as I bought those, guess who decided they want to live? It is what it is. Right? Now I'm probably going to have a ton of green peppers.
That's McQuaddy. How are you? Good to see you in here. She's getting everything all lined up. How she wants them put in. Hey, Vernon, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. Planting peppers today. See down through here all of the volunteer yard long beans. She said she wanted to take the soil with her, so when she did, we took the beans with us also. And I hope that I don't need a list of peppers. Go down through there of what different ones there are. But yesterday, I'll take you back here to the back, and I'll get you some of the tomato plants. Tomato rows, trellising all up. And I'm not really sure, and I don't remember how many different ones there were. but I am guessing there's 50, 54 tomato plants in here right now. And that's how many we got put in yesterday. I think 54, and then I think she has an extra 12 in case we lose some. Well, Vernon, we're going to say you're going to be feeling healthy. You're going to be doing good. And we're just going to stand on that. Passamaquoddy, I'm sure it is cold. Still cold there. It is, I'm going to say 73 here today, I think. It's pretty chilly this morning. It was in its 50s. So I think she's getting all set up, about ready to go. If anybody does have any questions, I'll try to stay up with the chat and what she's got growing on down here.
Okay, so I think we're going to end up with a lot of green peppers, which isn't a bad thing. Wanted to go over the fertilizing first. What I have here is basically just regular soil, and I've added in some manure. I don't fertilize my green peppers much because I think you can over love your green peppers. I don't know how else to say it. I'm a little rebound. But you definitely don't want to put too much nitrogen. If you're going to do green peppers, you know, well, your fertilizers have the 3 numbers. The first one's nitrogen, phosphorus, and then potash. I don't remember. But each of them do different things. Most people know nitrogen. That's the first one. And a lot of people will put a lot of nitrogen on their green peppers, and you don't want to do that because mainly what that's going to do is it's going to feed the greens, and you don't really want the green fed as much as you want the fruit to set. So, but I'm just now getting these planted up, and like I said, I've been having issues with how they come up. So what I'm going to do is I'll get these planted, and then what I'm going to do is give them a shot of, well, not today, but I'll get these watered in really good, and then probably tomorrow I'll give them a shot of fish fertilizer, like fish emulsion is what I plan on doing. And that is basically just to give them a good strong start. And then after that, I won't be giving them any more nitrogen. But I will say our soil is basically broken up enough to where it's already been amended. So what it has in here now is pretty much what it needs as far as like nitrogen wise to grow the rest of the year. So after tomorrow, once I put the fish fertilizer in, I won't be giving them not any more nitrogen. So, and then I might add, just depending on how it goes and how they're growing, I might add another fertilizer. But if I did, it would be a fertilizer that the middle would be the higher number, because that's what you want for the setting of the fruit, is the middle number. The first number is your nitrogen. That's what does the greenery and the growth and stuff like that. The second one is what I call the fruit part of it. So if you're wanting it to set more fruit and not be worried about greening up, that's what you want to do. That's what I'm going to do. And then the last one, that's more for like your potatoes and your in-ground root crops and stuff like that. So, but really all that I'm doing is I'm throwing this stuff in. Like I said, it's already mixed up. It's just a mixture that I use with all my seedlings. And I put a little extra manure in it for getting them started. And that's really about it. So that's it as far as fertilizing goes. I don't know if I answered questions. I don't know if I made that plain and clear or if I just made everybody have more questions. But so if I did not explain that well, let me know.
Let's see here. Covered the potatoes for frost last night. Oh yeah, that's good. You don't want to lose anything. I understand. Yeah. I said that Passamaquoddy said she had to cover her potatoes because of frost. Yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll get them worked out. See what we can do to answer them. I'm going to do a close up here and let her dig one out and show you what's going on.
Next thing I'll be covering is the topping. You don't have to do this. A lot of people don't, and it'll grow just fine. It won't be an issue. But if you want a fuller, bushier pepper, what I'll do, I won't do it today. I will wait because obviously I'm doing a transplant, so there's going to be a little bit of a shock to them. But once I can tell that they've pretty much perked back up, what I will do is I will come in and I will just top these. And by topping, what I mean is I'll just cut this whole top off. And what that will do is it will encourage this to make more sprouts. So I'll end up with a bushier plant. Like I said, you don't have to do it. You can just leave it like this and it'll just grow tall and you'll end up with like a one stem and it'll come up and you'll still get fruit. But if you do top it out and just take the top off, you'll end up with a bushier plant and you'll end up with more peppers to pull off of there. As far as spacing goes, everybody always says 24 inches. I'm more in between 12 to 18 inches. And the main reason for that is I like to keep mine tight and compact because the closer you can get them together, they'll actually lean on each other. So when you have like windstorms and stuff like that, they kind of help protect each other. So I'm planting mine a little closer. Plus, in all honesty, I wasn't expecting as many of them to make it as what they did. So I didn't leave enough bed space. But I would say you could easily give it more room. Like this one's probably a little too. See, these are ones that I didn't think they were going to make it. So I ended up going and buying 4 more Callow Wonders. And then these decided to live. Which is a good thing. I like living plants. What's that, Will?
Okay. Angie and I have a running thing. I always ask her, in the mornings, everything go all right this morning? And she'll tell me, yeah, the cows are cowing, the chickens are chickening, and the dog's dogging. And it's just a joke between us that means basically everything's going good. Yeah, our bed space. How long are these beds?
Well, there's 8 foot. Are those 8 foot or 10 foot in between? Those are 8, right?
8.
8. The front ones are 24. And the back ones would be
So like this bed here, it is 24 by 4 foot wide.
I don't know if it's 4 foot.
Yeah, I measured it the other day. Yeah. Yep, it's 4 foot. And then obviously these ones back here in the back, they're a lot longer. Yeah. Yeah. She also got the her herb garden going from her farm stuff, waters and chicken feeders and stuff like that. She's got everything going on back there. Setting area just for underneath our pumpkin trellis. How many total peppers you think you got this year?
I don't know. I don't really keep track. I don't keep count. I got as many as lives.
I'd say there's probably about 40 pepper plants she's putting in today. She always holds some back just in case we have one that doesn't make it. That way she can put it in that slot so it's not an empty slot in the garden.
They go on the bench.
Yeah, they go on the bench. That's a good way to put it. They're in there just in case we need them. Need a pinch runner.
And if I don't use them, I give them away.
That's true. What's happening, John, from Will It Grow? And just putting in pepper plants today.
We know John's just here to watch you.
Yep. I'm sure I am. There you go. She's just working right down the road. Yep. She puts them in there pretty close.
Well, it looks closer than what it is because I'm doing like a triangle. So it looks closer. Like it looks like they're really close. But if you actually look at it, there's this much room in between this one, but there's also quite a bit of room in between that one. So it looks closer than what it is, but I like it because you can get a lot more in the space. And like I said, they like to be close together. They're close together, they hold each other up. So the closer you can get your teammates, the better they work together. Ooh, this one's a little cute.
Let's see if we can get down in here. And if anybody asks what that tub is, I think it's cow manure and just topsoil.
It's got topsoil in it. It's got a raised bed mix. It's got a little bit of peat moss in it and aged cow manure. Basically, whatever I have left over, because when I start my seeds, I just mix a big bunch of my own mix for seed starting, and I mix it in a big old tub. So whatever's left over from, actually the tub's over there, but whatever I have left over, then I just throw in some cow manure, and if it needs a little bit more, I just top it off, and that's what I use. No real science to it other than that'll work. Kind of like how I cook. I don't really measure anything. I just kind of throw it in there and ship it.
So yeah, nothing goes to waste. We try to make sure we use it all. Danny, Cajun Hydroponics. What's up, boy? Well, pal, putting in some peppers.
Dude, he's probably already got a ton of them growing. As far as where to plant peppers, so before we come out here, here's what I did, because I knew I would get distracted doing a live. So I wrote down my little list of what I wanted to cover. So we did fertilizing, we did topping. Okay, where to plant. Where to plant. I like putting mine in a really good sunny spot. The thing about peppers is, really, in all honesty, they come from South America, so they like it warm. And so I like to put it in one of the sunniest spots in our garden. So I try to make sure that there's not a whole lot of shade. Like my tomatoes, I don't mind them shading each other out a little bit, but as far as like my peppers, I want them to get the sun, because this is Indiana. We ain't South America. So I figure if we can get as much Indiana sun as possible, I'm going to try to make that as close to South America as I possibly can. Some summers in Indiana feels like South America. But so I like to plant them in the sunniest part of our garden. And then as far as like the soil and stuff like that, I just try to make sure that it's a pretty loose soil. I mean, you can tell that it's not compact. I've grown it in our clay soil, but I always amend the holes before I do it. So just make sure that it's in a good spot to where the roots can set out pretty good, because you want a good root system, especially because peppers, they're kind of top heavy and they don't have a huge root system. I mean, even a good pepper, the root system's really only about that big. But the pepper, depending on the kind, like we had poblano peppers that were like 4 foot tall. Well, their root base is still only this big. So whenever you plant them, you want the root base to get as big as possible, because they are going to get fairly tall. Now, with that being said, even though I am planting mine close together and they will help hold each other up, I'm still going to put some sort of something in to help hold them up. Good things for that would be, oh, I skipped a name. I don't even know if I don't know. Good thing for that is I like using the tomato cages, because they're pretty flimsy anyway, especially like the cheap ones that go from small, big, and they go up. Those are the ones I like using for peppers. The other ones that have like the smaller one and they get bigger as it goes down, those actually do really well for tomatoes. And I like using those for determinate, sorry, squirreling, talking about tomatoes. Okay, peppers. To put them in, I like to use and then maybe just put a couple ties to it, and that's going to be plenty. You just want something to give it a little bit of strength to hold it up, because when the wind comes in, it'll just blow them all over. So think about that as staking. Or you could even do like you could put like a T-post on each end, and then you could run string and then just kind of weave them through the string. That would help hold them up. It doesn't need a lot, but they do need a little bit of trellis. I wouldn't say trellising, but they do need a little bit of something to help hold them up through the wind. Get this one in. I think I'm gonna have to get more dirt.
Okay, let's see what we got going on in here. Ooh.
Yeah, I need more dirt. I'll be back.
So on the roll for more dirt. Yep, she got a lot of peppers to put in. There's a lot of different varieties. I know, like up here, she was telling me she's got these flowers up here in this corner. She said she's moving that one. I'm gonna put her chili peppers in there. She likes the colors. I am looking directly into the sun, so it's kind of hard to read some of the chat.
Hold these out.
Okay.
Who goes next?
She's over there deciding which one she's going to put in next. And like I said, I don't know how many pepper plants she has. A bunch. Looks like she got some green beans to move before she can even do that. They just keep on popping up. She brought that soil with her, so one of the beans that got away, they came to the new garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
All right, we're back.
We got these ancient sword from Jeff last year, and I saved some of the seeds. Really, really good. If you can get your hands on some ancient sword peppers, I suggest you do so. They a lot like green peppers, but they get about that long. The walls are a little bit thinner, but still really, really good. Okay, what else do I got to talk about? Watering. Okay, so watering peppers. I do my peppers just like I do my tomatoes. I do a deep watering. And I will be completely honest with you. My garden is kind of like the Hunger Games. I do my best to plant up and give them the best possible life that I can give them. And then once they get out here, I will water for a while. And then the strongest survive. So I get to a point after watering, because I do not like, I will weed a garden before I will water a garden. I hate watering gardens. Anyway, so once they get in and they get to a certain point and I'm done watering, it's kind of like, okay, Hunger Games, maybe odds be ever in your favor. Good luck to y'all. Unless there's a drought, obviously, I'll water for a drought, but for the most part, I get them going and then I just rely on God's water. He can water. He's a better gardener than I am anyway. But to water, if you are going to water deep. Like I would prefer to, like what I will do is, I mean, obviously these are in good right now. So what I will do is I will get these all watered in really good after I get off here. And then I will come back and I will water them probably every other day. And what I'll do is I'll give them a good deep water. And then I'll let it go for a day and then come back, give them a deep water. And then I'll back off to 3 days until they're good enough to go on their own. But if you are going to water peppers, just don't overwater them. You know, giving them like coming out every night and giving them a 10-second soak, you know, just enough to wet them, it's not really going to be the best for them. It actually really is better for you to come in and do a good deep water right here at the base. Give it a good deep water. And then you don't need the water the next day, or unless, you know, you're going through a drought or something like that. But deep water is better than watering every single day. What else? Oh, pests. We really don't get a whole lot of problems with pests on our peppers. If we do, we get the little critters that make the lines.
Oh,
No, can't think of what they're called. I'm sure somebody in the chat will be able to pick up on it. What are the ones that they go into the leaves and they make the little lines in the leaves? They're like leaf borer or something, maybe. I don't know, but it looks like they got little tracks through the thing. Anyway, we really don't have a whole lot of pest pressure when it comes to peppers. But what I will do is, just because I'm doing it anyway for like my tomatoes and everything else, is I'll do neem oil, and that's really all I do. Is I'll do some neem oil pretty much over everything about every 2, sometimes 3 weeks. That's really all I do for peppers. I mean, there's other things that I got to watch for more pests on different things, but I'm trying my best to stick to peppers. I'm just talking about peppers. But was anybody in there able to say what it was? Because if somebody's watching back, I want them to know. I want to say it was leaf borer, but I don't think that's right. I just remember, I mean, it's only happened to me a couple times, and it looks like they make these little white tracks in the leaves. I feel like I'm getting further apart as I go down.
keep going.
Okay, next up I've got harvesting. Okay, so one thing I'll say about peppers and harvesting is I see a lot of people that will not harvest their peppers enough. And I don't want to say that they're like green beans, but they kind of sort of are, because if you come it through and you pick and you pick and you pick, what it does is, and this is really the case for just about all your plants, their job, once you plant them in, their job is to set seed because they want to reproduce themselves. So if they're not setting seed, and the seed comes in the fruit. So like in the case of peppers, what this plant is going to want to do is it's going to want to reseed itself. So it's going to grow peppers with the seeds inside with hopes of it falling off and making seed. So what you want to do is keep picking the peppers, because if you keep picking the peppers, that pepper plant is going to shoot off more peppers to grow, because if you let it go too long, it's going to be like, okay, I did my job, I don't need to do anymore, and it's going to kind of kick its feet up, kick back, and be like, okay, we're good. But if you keep picking the peppers, it'll keep making more peppers, because it'll be like, well, we've not done our job, and so it'll make more.
Okay. I had to switch and go get glasses so I could see the screen.
Any questions, comments, harassment? I mean, John and Danny's in there. There's got to be harassment going on.
There we go. John's telling me to turn around.
He just wanted to see you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. He's always got his eye on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, make sure you put them in there. Yeah, I know I'm squinting at the screen trying to see if the sun's in my eyes. Trying to get everything in there. Yeah. It came home today and she goes, I'm doing a live today on planting peppers. Glad you did.
Just because I'm being lazy and I don't want to have to edit.
Do what?
I'm being lazy. I don't want to have to edit.
I understand.
This one's another one I got from Grow Something with Jeff. Lipstick pepper. These were really good. They're like a green pepper, but they kind of go in a shape kind of like this. Like, I don't really know why they call them lipstick, because I was thinking it'd be like, like lipstick, but it doesn't really grow like that. They're not quite that long. But they do get super bright red, and I was picking them while they were green, and Jeff seen me picking them, and he was like, let them go red. I was like, okay. I did. Let me tell you, it made a huge difference. Because them suckers were so sweet.
Oh, the redder they got, the sweeter they got?
Well, I mean, that's the case pretty much with any pepper. It's either, now if you're planting sweet peppers, if you let them go till the red, they do get sweeter, or if it's a yellow pepper, you let it go, it gets sweeter. And then a hot pepper, obviously, the more you let it go, the hotter it gets. So you want to let them fully ripe.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, that one's an itty bitty one.
Spin it around here. Oh, hit the wrong one. There we go. Yep, John, if I knew how to do all that stuff and turn these things around, I would, buddy, but I do not know how to flip it.
He just wants to see you.
Yep, I don't know nothing about that stuff.
These are too far out. They're not going to have anything to climb up anyway.
Kenny, when you post this video, make sure you put the number. Diva in the Dirt, Cajun Hydroponics, Will It Go Grow, Passamaquoddy. Yeah, there we go. She's just moving right along.
Okay. Next one we got up is Giant Marconi. They're a little puny looking, but maybe they won't be puny once we get them in and get them going good. Okay, what's next on the list? Overwintering. Okay. I'm sure most people that's in here already knows that you can overwinter peppers. Some people don't know that, and they just pull their peppers up at the end of the year. But it's actually pretty easy to overwinter a pepper. Even like us, we grow in the dirt. But say this one here come up and it was just doing a banger job, and I wanted to keep it. What I do is just dig it up, put it in a pot, and then just keep it in my house, and then it'll keep growing. And the good part about it is if it's really growing good, then that means that I can put it back out here. Same plant that has been growing good, and I can do that. They say you can do it continually. I've never been able to overwinter more than 2 winters. Not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying, me personally, I've not been able to do it for more than 2 winters. But I will say that, I always say it, we live in a cave in our house at all. So I think that is my problem more than anything. So, but yeah, you can overwinter, and then you can be eating peppers all winter long and doing wonderful. Now, Kenny could care less if we was to overwinter any peppers. I'm more the pepper person than he is. Except for hot peppers. He likes the hot peppers.
I like hot peppers. Those are good.
And then last thing on my list is cross-pollination. Okay, so this is one that irritates me, because a lot of people talk about, oh, well, you can't put this next to that, because the cross-pollination, rah, 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 rah. Okay, So, me personally, unless I am being particular and I want to make sure that I am getting, like, I don't know, this is the giant Marconi. I planted it. If I wanted to make sure that I was getting an absolute 100% giant Marconi, what I would do is when this came up and it blossomed, I would put a little bag over the blossom, and then I can make sure that whatever this is producing the exact giant Marconi. Me personally, I like things to cross pollinate because I call them home hybrids. Because if I have them growing in here and they cross pollinate, basically what they're doing is pollinate with like this one next door. Okay, hold on. I think I'm cross pollinate. Figure out a good way to explain this. Like a dog. If you have a German Shepherd, let's just call this the German Shepherd. The giant Marconi is the German Shepherd. If I want to make sure that I get a giant Marconi, I want to make sure I get a German Shepherd, I need to breed it with another German Shepherd for it to be a full-blooded AKC German Shepherd. I would need to do the same thing with this giant Marconi. I would need to make sure that none of these other ones bred with this giant Marconi. So I would have to make sure that I isolate the blooms to make sure that it's not being bred by anything, or I need to plant it next to other giant Marconis so that I can make sure that I get a AKC heirloom giant Marconi. But that is not to say that that is always necessarily the best. If you want to keep your seeds heirloom and 100% exactly what it is, then that's what you need to do. Or plant them like a football field apart to make sure that they're not cross pollinating. Peppers, I don't think they need to be quite a football field apart. Probably, I would say 50 feet, you'd be good. But me personally, I like the fact that I have things that do cross pollinate, especially like my tomatoes. Sorry, stick with peppers. I don't mind cross pollination because, in my opinion, it makes your own hybrid. So, if this happens to breed with this, just like if you was to breed a German Shepherd with a poodle, you're going to get a German poodle or whatever you would call that. And maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want the look of a German Shepherd, but the personality of a poodle. So you would breed those until you get the exact type of dog that you want. Same thing goes with peppers and pretty much anything else out here. If you let them cross pollinate, it's just like breeding dogs with a different breed of dog so that you can get the right temperament or looks or whatever that you're going for. If you do this in your home garden and you let things cross pollinate, what'll happen, in my experience, is you end up with a better pepper, a stronger pepper, because these peppers have been growing in my soil. So they're already adapted to my climate, my soil, how I grow, and things like that. So these would be 100% Angie hybridized peppers, and they are going to grow in Angie's garden wonderfully. And I actually like that. So as far as cross pollination, I don't mind it, but I know some people do. Yeah. I have to go mix more dirt and get the rest of these finished up. So yeah, and then get these watered in. So it's all on you now.
Oh man, don't say that.
I did what I came to do. Well, as far as the live goes.
Uh-oh. The live keeps freezing. Sorry about that. Yep, we are back in the bag. I'm gonna say we're probably 100 feet or so from the house, so that's the reason why it is, I'm sure, freezing. what did we grow that was a hot pepper? I believe it was jalapenos and chilies and
What, this year?
Yeah.
This year I've got just hot peppers.
Yep.
Got Tabasco.
Tabasco.
But I grow those mainly because they're pretty. I like them. Jalapeno. It's a home hybrid jalapeno, so it actually got mixed with some hot banana last year. So I'm kind of excited to see what this one actually turns out like. And then I got just regular jalapeno, pepperoncini, because they're amazing. We really don't grow a whole lot of hot peppers. Just don't. Hot peppers is more for like the flakes and the flavor and stuff like that. I do a lot of jalapenos just because my brother got me hooked on stuffed jalapenos. But I mean, jalapenos are good with anything. Kenny's favorite though is you take pepperoncini and the jalapeno and dice them up together and pickle them just like you would regular jalapenos, but mixing them together. That's his favorite way. So I do that a lot with the pepperoncini and the jalapenos, which works out good because you know how sometimes you can get a handful of jalapenos and a handful of this, but you don't have quite enough to make a whole batch of pickled peppers. Well, this way you can, and it's a good, nice mix. The pepperoncini gives the jalapenos a different taste. Pepperoncini has like its own flavor, I think. And then jalapeno, obviously, everybody loves jalapeno, but it kind of gives it that, I don't know, like more of a tart. When you mix them, it gives them more like that pepperoncini tart. It's got like a tart heat, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I know what it tastes like. I don't know how to explain it.
I'll explain to you. It's good. Yeah.
Hey, it's warm in
Yeah. I know. Get it on the tripod. It's kind of shaky. Uh-oh. That must mean we're lagging way behind. If you're saying that, it must be cutting in and out pretty bad.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Look at Angie's compost pile here. Look at all the daggone wood chips. Jiminy Christmas. And I think this week or the end of this week or beginning of next, I think she's going to start composting those. So I think she's bringing in a layer of I don't know how thick she's putting them down, then putting the cow manure from our cows on it, and then I think she's lasagna methoding, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah. But as far as pepper goes, I like the pepperoncinis and the jalapenos mixed together. When they're canned together, they're flipping awesome. I'll tell you what, a lot of good flavor in that. She's about got this bed done. She's close. Walk on down here. I cut a bunch of these rounds and stuff just to hold the plastic down for in between the rows till we can get caught up in between her onion bed here. They're looking pretty good. They're looking decent. Strawberries are all doing well over there. Yeah, somebody asked the other day why we did move the oh, what are you on? Uh-oh.
Well,
If I can find you. There you are.
Getting in there and getting my cow manure. Stick my hand in there, get everything mixed up.
Yep.
Actual turd.
Hey, don't be throwing this ain't poop stick. That wasn't right. She thinks she's funny. She'll think she's real funny when I go out there to grab a handful of Stu's manure and throw it at her. Then we'll see how funny it is. Everybody out there got their garden up and going now? Because we're still in the midst of it. Turn this around over here. We got our string ran. Got to put up more posts all the way down so we can get our fence all the way around it so we don't have everybody sneaking in trying to get a free meal. Which, I don't know. I think last year at the end of the season, we started having problems with the rabbits and we started having problems with deer coming up and messing with the fruit trees. So hopefully this year, before we have any issues, we can get a perimeter fence put in all the way around it, which will be nice. I think that'll be good. Trying to stop that. There we go. But yeah, we got I don't know, I think she's got 40 pepper plants put in today. Herb garden was last night. I think she got part of that put in. Then she got the rest of it put in today. She's super happy about the farm garden.
I need more farm stuff.
Need more farm stuff?
Yep.
I understand it. Yeah, let's just spun around here. See what's growing on. Are those more lipstick peppers?
No, this is another giant Marconi.
Giant Marconi.
Similar to the ancient sword.
Oh, I got you.
Similar to that.
You were a big fan of the ancient sword.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They were big. They got really good size. I don't know how else to say that.
Okay. Give me some more pepper.
Okay. I am not a big green pepper fan per se. I mean, I don't care if you throw them in the mix and you want to if you want to cook them. Sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. If you cook them in with stuff, that doesn't bother me. But just right off the vine, fresh green pepper, no, I'm not a big fan. Are we doing any types of melons this year? I don't believe so. Not this year. I think that, you just got to take what you want to grow and what you want to do. And we're good with like, I don't know, 1 or 2 watermelon a year. So it's not really worth the space to us, I think. So, yeah.
Okay, we got issue.
Uh-oh, what's your issue?
Well, I've got enough sweet peppers to do a whole nother row. But then that means my hot peppers aren't all going to be, and I'm not going to be balanced.
Not going to be balanced. Hey, Robert, how are you, buddy? I'm sorry. The glare and everything, I'm trying to keep up with everything, and I'm not a very good cameraman. So you're not going to have very good balance. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because like I've got this whole row of sweet peppers, and I've got enough to do another row of sweet peppers. I could do there or there. But then if I have like sweet peppers and sweet peppers, I only got enough to do one row of hot peppers. And that means I'm going to be crooked. So I don't know what to do.
Angie likes balance in her garden. She likes that.
I like balancing my life. Not very good about balancing life, but what to do.
But yeah, as far I mean, we're growing pumpkins this year. We're gonna grow some Cinderella pumpkins up over the pumpkin trellis.
Melon.
Oh, that's right. We are doing cucamelons. I've never had a cucamelon. The pumpkin trellis is right there. Yeah, we are gonna do pumpkin trellis, and yes, we are doing cucamelon. And the reason why is I've never had them before, and it's just kind of cool to say. Who doesn't like saying cucamelon? But I am going to do probably some bigger watermelons, probably the cheese and Jarondale pumpkins over there. That fence row over there. We took a bunch of the chips off that we had smothered the garden with over the winter, and we put them in that fence row over there so it doesn't start growing up with everything. And we are going to plant pumpkins over there. And that's going to be just for, I mean, some of them we might use them for pies, but I'm going to say that most of them will be for chickens, cows, animal feed, a lot of it. But we actually just gave our chickens the last pumpkin we had from last year, and it was a cheese pumpkins. And that's probably about 3 weeks ago. So they last a long time.
Dude, I am stressing out about this not being balanced.
Hey, what's up, Calvin? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you in here. So good, gardener.
Hey, make sure he's got his little wrench. He's supposed to be a.
Oh, that's right. He is supposed to be a moderator. Nope, no wrench.
What?
I don't see one. He is supposed to be a moderator in here. RG Arizona Homestead, how are you?
Okay. I'm gonna finish that one with sweet peppers. I'll just do sweet peppers on this side, hot peppers on that side. But it's not gonna be balanced and
She likes balance in her garden. Where are you heading to? Across the street?
I'm going right there.
Oh, she's going to the other side of the road.
I'm just gonna do sweet peppers on this side.
Yeah, if everybody doesn't know Calvin, the So Good Gardener, make sure you get in there and say hello to him. Super good dude, puts out great videos. The man can cook. A lot growing on in his backyard. So go check him out.
I'm gonna show up at his house one day and have him cook for me.
That's right. I'm going to show up at Calvin's house too and have him cook for us. I'll tell you what, that'd be awesome.
It's one thing if you can grow it, it's another thing to cook it. There's a lot of people that can grow. There's a lot of people that can cook. You can find somebody that can grow it and cook it. There you go. Okay.
Calvin says, calm down. Y'all need to calm down. It's good to have you in, Calvin. But I do think your wrench is missing. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. I think YouTube changes things because, like, I know we had more mods, and it's like They get erased.
I don't know.
'Cause,
Kind of
like,
weird.
Dom's supposed to be one. Robert's supposed to be one. I know there for a while their things were missing.
Yep. Oh, that's what he says. Come on down and see him.
Watch that invitation. I just might show up at your door.
That's right.
Be like, feed me.
Your wife's going to answer her door, and we're going to say, Calvin said, come on over. He's fixing dinner. Gophers would love in the garden. Yeah, well, I'm glad we don't have gophers.
No, but I do have issues with some mold out in here. Jerk.
It'd be like a kid playing in the dirt.
Yep, I just never grew up. Never grew up. It's a trap. Not worth it. This one's not as wide, so I don't know that I'm gonna do the
Stagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, this bed isn't as wide as the other one, that's for sure. This bed here is about 3 foot wide. It's 24 foot long, 3 foot wide. So no stagger step on this one.
I don't think so. Especially right here, close to the beam.
You're on.
Yeah. Oh, I put that one way too close. I mean, I like peppers close, but not that close. I wasn't paying attention. Jig me back up here, little guy. And peppers aren't like tomatoes. Like tomatoes, when I up pot and transplant my tomatoes, like if this was a tomato, I would plant it about that deep. I would strip all the leaves off, and I'd plant it about half as tall as whatever it is. Peppers, I don't do that, but I will plant them a little bit deeper than what they were, but not a whole lot. Yeah. Those were, what did I just plant? Apple crisp. Another one. Got from Grow Something with Jeff. Tell you what, that man can grow some peppers. Good peppers too. I think next is sweet banana.
Now I'll eat some sweet banana peppers. Those are good.
Those are a good snack. Did you plant this?
What you got? Oh, look at here.
Squirrel's been planting in my garden.
Walnut tree. I started piling these up, and I thought, man, you know what? I'm going to go back to the back, and I'm going to put these back in the woods. Get some walnut trees growing back here.
Why don't squirrels ever plant where you want them to?
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, we had a bunch of ash trees. And obviously, we lost a bunch of ash trees during the tornadoes and stuff that we had. Ooh.
Here's another thing. Look here. Get close. See this one here? It's already trying to grow a pepper. We don't want that, so we're just going to pop that off. We do not want them worrying about growing fruit right now. We want them worrying about growing right now. So if you have any that's setting fruit and they're still little like this, just pop the fruit out. Get rid of that. Dang it. Getting distracted.
Mm.
Not time for sweet. I still got these over here. Ooh, that one's got a good root.
It does, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks puny, but
it does have a lot of good feed on it, don't it?
yep.
Yeah, everybody said that, that soil, it looks great over there in the old garden. And that was the first thing out of Angie's face. I'm taking it with me.
Yep.
And she wasn't kidding. We scraped it up and we brought it with us over here. And that's what she made her new garden beds out of that you can see.
Some spots were a little better than others.
Yeah, some spots were, but I don't know. It's amazing that how much the wood chips and everything changes the
composition.
Yeah, the composition of the soil. Because I'll tell you what, we live on a bed of clay, and
well, you can show them right there. That's what our dirt looks like. There's clay right there, and it's just crap.
I'll show you. There. There's our soil, right there. But you remove the wood chips, and it starts getting darker and darker. I tell you what, it changes everything around for the good. I don't know how else to say that. Yep, I don't make a good camera stand, I know. But that is some easy digging now, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That part of it makes it real nice.
Yeah. And the reason I'm amending it at all is because there's still a lot of because we didn't sift it and everything. So there's still a lot of the mulch that we had over there. And the mulch will suck the nitrogen. I mean, eventually, once it breaks down, it releases the nitrogen back into the soil. But that may take a couple years. So what I'm doing is I'm just amending the hole that I'm putting it in so that I can make sure that it gets a good, nice footing to start with. And then obviously as this breaks down, the soil is just going to get better and better. And I'll just keep throwing compost on top of it. Daggone that, look, they planted another one.
Yeah. Got another walnut growing on.
Oh, they went deep with that one. Jerks.
Oh, wow, they did, didn't they? Can't they go through here and plant tomatoes and everything else? Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm sure somebody's screaming, it's a walnut. It's good. One, I can't stand walnuts. They taste gross. And two, you ever tried mowing around walnut trees?
Like a shooting range.
Yeah. Everybody starts mowing around. Like, we've got one that our granddaughter swings on. When you start mowing that sucker and anybody's outside, take cover, because mower hits that and whing! It'll take you out.
Thanks, RG. Arizona Homestead. We appreciate it. And yes, she does have Indian line in her, but don't ask me which one. She can tell you. I cannot.
Well, mom's side, I got a little bit of Cherokee. And then my dad's side, all over in Missouri Valley. So it's the farmer, I think it's Osage.
Osage.
I think that's what it is. Missouri Valley area. Whatever. They were farmers over there. Like Indian farmers, like they were there for farming the land.
Oh yeah. She'll be fine out in the sun.
What?
She'll be fine out in the sun.
I like the sun.
She does better out in the. She in vitamin D. She likes that.
Yes. Kenny likes it when I have vitamin D.
Yes, I do.
I get grumpy in the winter. I'm a
Yeah.
winter whiner for
Yep.
sure.
She's a winter whiner.
I will whine all winter long. Hey, I need more dirt.
She needs more dirt.
Crap, let's find out how long you been on. I don't stay on too long.
An hour and 11 minutes.
Oh wow, that's way too long.
Too long?
That was for half hour, 45 minutes.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to give one shout out here real quick, just in case.
Okay.
Bonnie, if you're out there, we want to hear from you and say hello.
And our shirts, love them. They'll be on the video.
Yes, very much. They're
Yes.
very good. I like them.
Cool shirts.
All right. This has been Kenny and Angie here at Abundant Acres Homestead.
Be safe and God bless.